We begin with the latest from the United States, where Venezuela's deposed president Nicolas Maduro has pleaded not guilty to a string of serious federal charges. Maduro struck a defiant tone as he made his first appearance in a New York court days after his dramatic capture by US forces. The 63-year-old former leader told a federal judge in Manhattan that he was innocent. Maduro also insisted he remains the legitimate president of Venezuela. Speaking through a Spanish interpreter, Maduro said he had been kidnapped from his home in Caracas and brought to the United States against his will. Smiling at times and speaking calmly, he declared, "I am innocent, I am not guilty, I am still the president of my country." Maduro's wife, Cilia Flores, also entered a not guilty plea. The judge ordered both to remain in custody and set a new hearing date for March the 17th. Legal experts say the charges Maduro is facing could put him behind bars for the rest of his life. US prosecutors have accused Maduro of narco-terrorism, conspiracy to import cocaine into the United States, and possession of machine guns and destructive devices in connection with drug trafficking. According to former federal prosecutors, the narco-terrorism count alone carries a minimum sentence of 20 years, while the weapons charge could add a mandatory 30 years on top of any other sentence. If convicted on all counts, Maduro could face decades in a US federal prison, effectively a life sentence.
Maduro is also charged with traditional importation of cocaine, which is something that's commonly charged in drug trafficking cases, as well as the use of a machine gun or explosive device in connection with a drug trafficking offense. That is an important law because it carries a 30-year mandatory minimum consecutive sentence. That means it's in addition to any other sentence under federal law.
Meanwhile, outside the Manhattan courthouse, protesters and Maduro supporters gathered under heavy police presence. Demonstrators waved Venezuelan flags and chanted slogans, condemning the United States and demanding Maduro's release. Police secured the area as the hearing took place inside.
Go to Venezuela so you can see how your mother has to stand online 3 or 4 days for a bag of bread flour. That's not a lie. That's the truth.
We're here for the arraignment to say free Maduro, to say the U.S. has no right to be holding the president of Venezuela and his wife, Cilia Flores, in U.S. courts. The charges are lies, and they're actually cover for the real political agenda, which is regime change and to put a government in power, not like the one that is in power, which is for the people.
And after the hearing, Maduro was escorted under heavy security back to a New York detention facility. A motorcade guarded by armed officers and monitored by a helicopter carried him across a bridge and into the prison complex. Back in Venezuela, political uncertainty and fears of turmoil are growing. The Venezuelan interim government confirmed that police fired gunshots on Monday night near the presidential palace. This, they said, was done to deter unidentified drones that were flying without permits. Meanwhile, Delcy Rodriguez, who served as vice president under Maduro, was sworn in as the interim president. Opposition parties voiced rejection of the new leadership and warned of further instability. Meanwhile, Venezuelan opposition leader and Nobel Peace Prize winner Maria Machado says she will return to Venezuela as soon as possible. Her role in the future governance of Venezuela is currently unclear. Analysts say Venezuela, already battered by economic decline, sanctions and a collapsing oil sector, now faces a dangerous struggle for power. The coming days will determine whether the country's political trajectory is headed towards overall stability or further chaos.
The world doesn't fit in boxes, so why should your news? From battlefields to negotiation tables, from internet outrage to real-world injustice. The conversations everyone is having and the ones they're avoiding. It's the same show, but this new year, Firstpost America gets a new look. I'm Kerry Johnston, and this is Firstpost America.